fight for your liberation.
GW Apparel, a clothing that speaks. Something for the kings, something for the queens. Visit uptsites.com and use promo code SLDG22 and receive 11% off your order. Peace.
It's the Ticket Plug. We've been running an online ticket business for over a decade, and now we've created an easy way for you to do the same thing through our private ticket resale community. Joining our community will give you a way to flip your bread and generate profit income consistently. We provide you with all the tools, training, and resources needed to start your life-changing online ticket business. Zero experience needed. To join our ticket resale community, go to thetickettrap.com. Again, go to thetickettrap.com. That's thetickettrap.com.
The Master's Table by DJ RP Beats and Sincere Love the God, now playing on the internet's #1 destination for true hip-hop. Introducing truthhiphop.com, a meticulously curated platform designed for connoisseurs seeking a superior quality of hip-hop. Immerse yourself in an unparalleled experience of 100% bar-heavy, authentically crafted, real hip-hop. Discover the essence of the genre, reminiscent of its golden era, now playing exclusively at truthhiphop.com.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.
Allah in the person of Sincere Love the God.
That mean they arms too short like tall Anthony Shaw.
Peace
What's
to the
going
God.
on, family? Peace, peace. Welcome to another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. I am the God, Sincere Love, back in the house once again with my lovely co-host, Nicety Girl. What's going on, everybody?
What's good? Happy Sunday, everybody. Can y'all hear me good?
Yeah, you
I feel
sound
like
good.
I'm low. Okay, good.
You sound good. What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Shout out to PD That Remains, Rhythm and Black in the building.
Peace.
Shout out to the FBA family in the building. Shout out to the non-FBA riders in the building. Need everybody to do us that favor and hit that like button as y'all coming up in here. Share this out on your social media platforms. Let everybody know that we are live with another episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. We a little bit early today.
Yeah.
Nicely about to go run the streets, so we had to hop on a little bit early today.
I'm going outside today, y'all.
But we here, so let everybody know that we here. We on early today, man. Hopefully people are getting their notifications, but if not, that's why we need y'all to share this out.
Yes.
You know, if you're not already subscribed to us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell, so you will be reminded whenever we go live with new episodes of Sincere Love the Godcast. Also, y'all know we got the super chat challenge going on.
Yes.
If you are tuning in on the Sincere Love the God channel, you'll see the challenge inside the live chat if you're watching us live on the Sincere Love the God channel. And so our goal for today is to get at least 5 people to purchase a $10 super chat. Get at least 5 people to purchase a $10 super chat. We will reach our goal. And once our goal is reached, then we will invite some of y'all to come on and share your thoughts on today's broadcast.
Yes.
All right.
And by the way, anyone in the chat here in LA, since we're going to be talking about the fires, you know what I'm saying? Want to know if anyone in the chat is from the LA area, such as myself. I'm not impacted at all. I'm not in that area. But if you are in that area, we would definitely like to hear from you, see what you're seeing, what you think, etc.
Yes, that's true. That's true. That's true. If anybody is in any of the impacted areas or the surrounding areas, we would definitely like to hear from y'all about what's going on out there, because like my sister said, today we are talking about these crazy apocalyptic looking wildfires that are happening in California. It's still going on, right? Stuff is
It's
still
still
burning
going
now,
on.
right? It's
It's
about
still
almost a
going
week.
on. It's not contained. We've been hit with serious winds too, which is also the problem. I don't think that's just the problem. You know what I'm saying? I think the winds are a problem, but the way that the fires are kind of popping up in different places, it just seems a little off to me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we'll talk about that in the broadcast.
Yeah, we're gonna get into all of that, man. There's a lot of different theories going on out there.
Peace, sis. I see my sister Crown 808. Peace.
Shout out to Crown 808 in the building. What's going on?
Jesse Paris in the building as well.
Peace, peace, peace. What's good? What's good, fam? Yeah. Also, we're seeing some crazy fires in the Bronx as well.
What?
Oh yeah, you didn't see that?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we got something in the materials. I'm not gonna show too much of the images and stuff. I will show some,
Mhm.
once we get into it. I'm pretty sure everybody's seen the images. It's all over your timeline. Y'all know what's going on out there with these fires and stuff like that. But I don't want YouTube to really try to get at us about showing too much
Right.
imagery of certain things. And so I will show y'all some of the images briefly, what I'm saying, just as we get into things. But I'm not going to show a whole bunch of videos of everything that you guys already seen on your timeline. You know what I'm saying?
And they have that 10-second rule too. So maybe pop in 10 seconds at a time if you're able to do that. I guess that's
Yeah, well, that's
hopefully,
for the copyrights and the music and stuff like
Okay.
that. Some of the videos do have music, but I'm gonna just mute it so y'all can
Okay.
see the images. I won't play the music. That's not even really necessary. But yeah, that's how we'll do it today. So again, you guys should be sharing this out right now, hitting the like button if you haven't done so already. I see a few more people climbed up in here. Again, we are on a little bit early, so some people may not be expecting us to go live, and I don't know if people are getting the notifications. So definitely do us that favor and post it on Twitter, post it on Facebook, let everybody know that we live right now so we can get some people up in here to chop it up with us. What's up, Just? I see my bro in the building tapping in from Facebook. What's going on, Just? All
What's
right.
up, Jess?
So
I don't
yeah,
see.
what you got to say?
I said I don't see Just. I'm looking for everybody that you call them. Or maybe they're somewhere else, or maybe it's moving too fast.
Well, you probably looking at your iPad.
No,
You
I'm actually looking on StreamYard.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. So
Yeah,
you should be able to see everybody then. You should
I
be able to
see
see
Jessica
everybody.
now.
Um
Line.
yes indeed. So yeah, we might as well get into, the main the main
Topic.
idea of today's broadcast, man. We talking about these wildfires, these forest
This-
fires, whatever it is that we're seeing that's happening.
no.
It's kind of unprecedented. I'm not from out
Mhm.
there in Cali. We always hear about these fires and stuff like that, but I haven't seen anything like this. And that's the same thing I'm hearing from people from the area. People are saying like, "No, we ain't never seen it like this before. This is a little different."
Is
You know what
very,
I'm
very
saying?
different because when the wildfires start in one area, it's kind of like that area, although it spreads in that one area. It can be acres, because we have a lot of dry brush and a lot of land out here, hence our reparations. Where is our land? Because out here in California, y'all, believe it or not, there's a lot of empty land out here, to be honest, outside of the city. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the Hollywood Hills, too. Santa Monica, um, off the 15 freeway, where if you're going what we call up the hill or high desert, lots of land, out that way. There's no reason why we ain't got our reparations. Glendale or going towards the valley, you see so much just empty land owned by the government. Give us our land. But anyway, the way that these fires are happening, it's like um it starts in one place and then it's like jumping, from city to city to city to city. As a matter of fact, there was a fire being set in Long Beach, and some people caught the guy again. So that's where I'm under the belief that these fires were purposely set. As you guys may have heard, there has been a few arrests. I think this is um I don't know how to call it, but there's some people out here that's intentionally, like a group. I don't know, but they're intentionally setting these fires in these areas,
Allegedly.
allegedly.
Allegedly. That's what some people believe. That's kind of some people are throwing some different theories around out there. There's a lot of different theories out there. That's what I'm saying. I want to be able to touch on a few of them, but just geographically, give us an idea because I know you in Long Beach, right?
I'm close to Long Beach. I'm in a city called Paramount, but I'm east of Compton. I'm north of Long Beach. So I'm between Long Beach, pretty much I'm between Long Beach and I'll say, well, not that way. I'm between Long Beach and Downey.
Okay,
Right there.
and where are these fires at?
They are in the Hollywood area, Brentwood, um, Santa Monica, again, out to Dina. All of those areas are north of me. They're north of
How
me.
far about how far of a
I can
drive?
get to Altadena in 30 minutes.
Okay. Now
I
out
can
to
get to
Dina.
Hollywood and I can get to Hollywood, depending on traffic, I can get to Hollywood in 30 minutes. I can get to Santa Monica in 30 minutes. Like all of these places are literally just about 30 minutes from me in traffic, maybe 40 minutes.
And out to Dina is the black area that everybody's talking about, right? Or
That's
it
the black
used to be a
area.
black area?
Yeah, it's a black area that sits right next to Pasadena. Most people know more about Pasadena than they know about Altadena, but it's just like my city. I'm in a city called Paramount. Literally, I can go maybe two lights up and I'm in Compton, right? So that's the same thing with Pasadena and Altadena. You cross a light or two and you're in another city. If I go south of my street right now, I'm in North Long Beach. Literally two lights, I'm in North Long Beach. So
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah. So these cities are like sitting together, pretty
Okay.
much.
Okay, yeah, because I heard somebody was talking about a little bit of the history of Altadena. They're saying that,
Hmm.
it's a historically black area, and the way that it was founded, it was a brother that was speaking who actually lost his home. Well, yeah, he lost his home, his mom's home, and his sister's home, and actually his sister died in the home
I'm
as well.
sorry.
His sister didn't make it out, and he was talking about the history of the area. Um, Basically, it was people who were servants to some of the white celebrities out in Hollywood.
Hmm.
I think it's Hollywood. You know what I'm
Yeah, it
saying?
will be
But
Hollywood.
yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it was segregated. Hollywood was redlined or whatever the case may be. So they didn't want the black people who was working for them to live in the same area. So they sent them all to Altadena. And that's how, this
That community.
became a black area. But it's been that way for a couple of generations now. And so there's some concentrated wealth there that's been passed down. You know what I'm saying? These are now the grandchildren of the
Hmm.
people who originally black people who originally started to settle there. Um, and now with all of this stuff going on with the fires, they're worried about how things are going to be handled on the legal end with the taxes and different situations like that, because they're looking at it like, okay, this is going to be a way for them to basically gentrify the area and steal the wealth from the black people who've been there for a few generations now.
Exactly. Exactly. And this area is also not like where the fire started. It's not super close to where the fire started. It's like, how did we start, I'm saying, here and jump to Altadena? It's like not making sense. The way that these fires are alleged are starting, that's why I think there's some arson involved, because the way that it's starting. Pasadena and up in these hills over here, just two different areas. They're here and y'all up there. How did that happen?
Right. And so again, like I said, I'm not going to show too much videos and stuff today, but just um, you know, to give y'all an idea what some of the destruction is looking like out there. And this video has music behind it, so I'm not going to play the music, but just to give y'all some imagery of some of the aftermath. And some of the fires are still burning.
Yeah.
These structures are literally burnt to the ashes. You know what I mean? Look at that.
See,
Look at
that's
that.
in the hills. That's not even in Altadena. That's over there near Santa Monica and the Palisades, you know.
But it just looks very apocalyptic, like
It's like a movie.
some revelations type shit is going on.
Right.
And and again, a lot of people suspect foul play. Some people, they talk about the natural aspect of it. People who've been out in California for a long time, this is something that happens, something that occurs. They get these
Hmm.
wildfires every year, periodically. Um, But just the way, like you said, these fires are jumping from place to place is making people take a closer look. And there's a lot of videos out there that look kind of weird. And we don't know what we're seeing. So I'm going to be very careful. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about what's out there. I'm reporting,
Right.
you know, what people are saying. You know, I'm not settled one way or other of what's actually happened. I don't know. This could be completely natural. It could be some other stuff going on. I don't know. I'm just saying what people are talking about. But again, sometimes when we see these videos, we don't know if it's an old video that somebody put up from a long time ago, you know, because we're seeing videos of like, you know, you see somebody messing around in the woods, you know what I'm saying? Like look like they started the fire and then all of a sudden, you know what I mean? We don't know if that is something that, you know, is an old video that been on the internet that people are just using. We don't know. We see stuff that looks very funny. People are suspecting these things called direct energy weapons because of the way that the fires are targeted in certain areas. Like certain stuff is not being affected right next door to another structure that's completely burnt down. Like, how's that happening? You know, people just trying to make sense of what they're seeing. And so that is one of the videos that I do want to show where they was talking about those, you know, the possibility of these being some direct energy weapons because is this the video here? Hold on a second.
Yeah, did you guys see that video of the guy who he got on top of his house with a water hose and he was able to save his house, but all the other houses around him, like all the houses on the left of his house, you know, got burned up. And all the houses on the right of his house got burned up. But he is in the middle didn't get touched because he was on top of his with a water hose. Like, come on, y'all.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. Yes. And they had him speaking on the news and stuff like that. Like, I had to do whatever I had to do to save my home. You know, I've been here X amount of years. This was my, you know, parents' home. He's kind of older, you know, now. And he managed to save his house with a water hose. But every other structure around him is gone.
A water hose.
A water hose, y'all.
Again, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And somebody said sounds like them fires in Hawaii.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. People are looking at some of the patterns and trying to connect some of the dots because, you know, it looked like there was some foul play with what we saw happen out there in Hawaii. Was it last year, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, I want to say.
And, you know, people are talking about how these are areas that have been targeted for like gentrification or, you know, them wanting to get, you know, residents out of these areas so that they can use it for other purposes and stuff like that. And so people are looking at the different patterns and stuff. And so this video right here, I thought was real interesting. And I think it's about maybe 2 minutes long or so, but I'm going to play this video here. And this is, again, you know, I'm not saying this is what it is. I don't know. I'm just saying these are some of the things that are being put out there, you know, some of the theories that people are looking at. So that's all we're saying.
The recent fires in California, Australia, and now Hawaii are unlike anything we've ever seen before. They are being called forest fires and wildfires, but they are clearly something very different. These fires are burning homes into a white powdery ash footprint.
And so again, it seems like this video is a little older. I don't think this video was made in response to the current fires that we're seeing going on out there in California. I think this was from, you know, after what took place in Hawaii. Somebody made this video, but, you know, it's resurfacing because of everything that we're seeing now. And people are just looking at the patterns. So just keep that in mind.
While often leaving the surrounding green trees and shrubs practically untouched. In extreme cases, forest fires can reach temperatures up to 1,500 degrees Fahrenheit. And the melting point of aluminum is 1,220 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is possible for an extreme forest fire to melt aluminum. But there are cars with puddles of melted aluminum that were clearly not in the wildfire area. And melted glass, which has a melting point around 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. These are unexplained anomalies. In the California fires of 2018, cars were randomly bursting into flames on the freeway with no.
Have you seen any of that this past week?
There's a lot of burned cars in the burned areas, but not just cars that are on the freeway driving and exploding. No.
Just random, right? Yeah, because this was from 2018, these images right here where that was happening. But I did hear people talking about some of these fires from this past week, just jumping freeways and stuff like that.
Yes, which is not now, and I don't know how it is in other states. Here, we do have a lot of the homeless that lives under the freeway. They have a lot of encampments. It's been cold here. I'm cold now. I'm sitting here with a blanket right now in my house, because it is kind of cold, and they do light fires in these areas under the freeways. Of course, it's a lot of grass and stuff. So I was under the, assumption at that point, like, well, maybe one of the homeless people, lit a fire to stay warm and it spread, but I don't, it's still
That's
not
possible.
mapping. Yeah.
That's possible. And
But
by the
to
way,
jump like that.
we got snow here in the South.
No.
It snowed on Friday. The most snow I've seen since I've been here. I've been here a little bit over a decade now. I haven't seen this much snow. It wasn't nothing crazy, but for Georgia, yeah, we got some significant snow. Like ground was covered, roads. I actually saw plow trucks and salt trucks and all that going up and down the road. I ain't never seen that out here before.
Yeah, Tamisha was posting. I was like, dang, I didn't know this was happening.
Yeah. They was talking about it. I didn't think it was really going to happen like that. Usually when they say that, we get a few flurries, maybe a little freezing rain for a little while, and that'd be it. But they was closing everything early. They shut down school, all the weekend activities and stuff like that was canceled early. And then when I got up Friday morning,
it snowed in.
It was definitely snowing, and everything was covered. Cars was covered, everything was covered. I was like, wow, okay, shit is real.
And also in Texas, because it's happening also in the Dallas area too.
Yeah, I think Alabama too. Crown 808, you still in the chat? Did y'all get hit? I think y'all got hit with snow too, right?
She's posted a photo in our chat. So they're getting it too in Alabama.
Yeah, so a little southern snowstorm. Seven was not trying to go outside in that. He just came back from New York, so he was like, I'm over that. Like, I'm cool.
Oh yeah, because he got snow in New York. He had a white Christmas.
A little bit, nothing crazy.
Okay.
Nothing crazy. But yeah, let me play some more of this video.
Surrounding fires. We've seen these same anomalies in New York City on September 11th, 2001. Cars completely burned out with no explanation. In Maui, these unnatural fires spared the homes of the rich while burning the native homes of the working class. With precision, these fires destroyed the most envied, high-valued areas of Maui. For decades, directed energy weapons have been classified, but they have been on the public record for several years now. Directed energy weapons, known as DEWs, have the ability to burn homes with this sort of precision. But in order to be this precise, the area would have to be mapped out. In January of this year, green lasers were seen over Hawaii, which could...
Right. So he's talking about the possibility of these direct energy weapons being at play. And some people think that might be at play now with what we're seeing now. And remember, and this was mostly in the East Coast,
right?
To be fair, but the last month or so, people were seeing these drones,
right?
These crazy flying objects in the air, and no explanation. There still hasn't been no real explanation about what that was about and all of that. And they're saying with these direct energy weapons, they have to first map out certain areas, to figure out, what's going to be targeted and how direct the target is going to be and stuff like that. So I don't know. Again, I don't know.
But I was going to bring that up. And the thing is, they had us so focused, though, on the East Coast. Maybe folks on the West Coast weren't paying attention to the sky, to notice that they were mapping this side out, because we were all so focused over here. They know how to distract us, get our attention on one, concentrated area so they can do what they want to do in the area that they want to target.
Right. Yeah. You never know, man. I don't put nothing past the white supremacists. That's the thing.
Period.
I don't put nothing past the white supremacists. It could very well be, none of this. You know what I mean? It could just be, nature.
Nature.
Could be.
Could be.
Could be. But I don't put nothing past the white supremacists. And the thing about, even if it is, you know, some of it may be natural disaster or whatever the case may be. But we know, like Nelly Fuller says, the white supremacists never waste a natural disaster.
No.
They're always going to try to find a way to capitalize off of a natural disaster. So maybe, you know, it might have started as a natural disaster and then some intervention, you know, take place thereafter, you know. Play a little bit more of this video and then we'll move on.
Best be described as a geospatial array for mapping terrain. We have seen that among the ashy ruins, there are blue-colored objects that have somehow survived the devastation. Blue cars, blue umbrellas, a blue boat, blue planters. Videos online are going viral that show how lasers can easily burn through certain colored objects, but objects that are colored blue remain unharmed.
All right, so I just wanted to show that. So my West Coast people, you know, I want y'all to keep y'all eyes open for stuff like that. You know what I mean? If y'all notice that in some of these affected areas, there's blue objects that appear to be untouched, take some pictures. Let us know what's going on if you see stuff like this. That's, you know, I just want to show that just in case, you know, there's stuff like this going on now. Because again, that's an old video. But, you know, people are trying to connect the dots of what's going on. So I don't know if you guys are seeing stuff like that out there now. But if you do, that's very interesting.
Very, very interesting. And there was this article yesterday that came out, I think it was yesterday or the day before, but this white lady, her name is Gloria Lynn Mandis. She's accused of arson in the Freddie area of the fire. So this is in Ventura County, which is the Valley, still part of you know, LA or whatever. But she's accused of starting a brush off of PCH out here. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah.
So the fire ignited around 12:40 p.m., burning approximately 3 acres before being brought under control. And so she is being charged with 2 felony charges. And wait a minute, her bail was only set for $20,000.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she should be held without bail right now because life was lost. Although it wasn't any loss in that area specifically, I still feel like, how do they know she's not responsible for the other areas? Just because she got caught in that, you know, that one area. I don't know. But $20,000 bail, you know, for torching 2 acres of land and homes is weird to me.
Yeah, and most likely, you know, if it's any type of foul play like that, it's a concerted effort. It's not one person going around doing this. You know what I'm saying? This is a network of people, you know what I mean, co-conspiring. If you know, if it is anything like that, I would think that would be the case.
You know what irks me too? It says she will be released and will be subject to strict conditions, including a ban on possessing matches and a lighter or cigarettes. What the hell?
Hey, she got that $1 billion worth of whiteness.
The whiteness. Like, seriously? Okay, I can't have matches. Ooh.
Another thing I saw was over a year ago. Joe Rogan was talking about he had spoke to a firefighter out there in LA or somewhere in California. I think it was LA, who was saying, look, it's only a matter of time. You know, just the way that everything is set up. We get the right wind, all of this stuff gonna burn to the ground. I think I got that video here too. Hold on, let me show you.
I think we do. I think we do.
Let me show y'all this. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. This is from the Joe Rogan podcast.
I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons it freaked me out. And he was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire's going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean. And it's not a fucking.
And shit, that was just a year ago.
Right.
A little over a year ago.
Technically, it did burn to the ocean in the Palisades because there's properties that's right there on the ocean. You got literally beachfront properties. Now, Long Beach has a lot of beachfront properties as well, you guys.
And that's the thing that a lot of us are puzzled about, those of us from the East Coast and stuff like that. Why are they saying they don't have no water when y'all sitting on the ocean?
Sitting on it. The Palisades is sitting, Santa Monica sitting on the water.
So what are they talking about when they say they ran out of water? What are they talking about?
Well, so I know that they turned off the hydrants, the yellow hydrants and stuff like that. So firefighters did not have access to water for that. Now you do have the planes that's grabbing water from the ocean. They are doing that, but
Hmm.
the hydrants were all turned off. While Mayor Bass was up in Ghana, turning up and trying to get herself dual citizenship. And I find it also, suspicious. Dr. Umar, every time these disasters happen, these people are always in another country somewhere. They're never here. When it happens, it was just like, oh, we were out of town or, on some business, in her case, turning up in Ghana, and then we have to show up days later.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting on her bumper about neglect, saying that she should resign. Gavin Newsom should resign. You want to read some of that article?
Yeah, and then his stupid self is talking about he wants to he's opening up an investigation about who didn't know what. Why don't you know? Like, stop trying to put, he's trying to pass the buck, to someone, I guess, in his office or administration, and kind of pass the buck to them. So he's saying that he's opening an investigation. Then we have y'all sisters, and they're still our sisters. They don't know. They don't know. I'm going to chop it up as they
Nicely
don't
saying
know.
that. Wow.
Huh?
Nicely giving somebody the benefit of the doubt. And
Y'all, I'm trying, but Yvette Nicole
wait,
Brown.
wait, 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 because you're skipping around.
Oh, I'm
You're
sorry.
skipping around. You're skipping around. Listen. So, all right. So number one, they're talking about they running out of water out there, and
Yes,
some of the policies where
it was cut.
they were defunding the fire department out there. Like
Mhm.
$17 million was cut out of the fire department's
Yep.
budget in order to do what?
So they claim that the budget was cut to put those resources in to help with the homelessness, social programs for the youth, and I forgot the other program that it was. But then when it came to finding out where the money was going, they lost track of the money and they do not know where it was spent.
Okay. And Key Prince, out to Key Prince, one of our channel members, she said that they're saying the salt water would corrode the fire equipment, the fire department's equipment, and kill the
Kill the
soil
soil. That's true.
for the ability to grow vegetation. Okay, so there's
Correct.
that. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. That's good information, because I don't know that. That's good information. All right,
But
so
they've been using it. They've
they
had
cut.
to.
You said they have been using it.
They had to.
Okay.
They showing out here, at least on the news and stuff, they're showing those planes dipping into the ocean to drop that water because they have to. Because
Excuse
again,
me.
we have the water system that was shut down. They had to.
And somebody saying, Rhythm and Black is saying, allegedly some of these insurance policies were canceled prior to the fires.
That's also
So
correct.
that's
That's
interesting.
also on the news, probably a week or so before the fires had started. A lot of the people started getting notices that their fire insurance, specifically their fire insurance, had canceled.
And so there were evacuation notices prior to, right?
How you gonna know? What do you? So you can't get an evacuation notice if a fire just starts and run. Now, as it started to spread, people were asked to evacuate because they couldn't contain it. You know what I'm saying? But
Right. Right. And that's the reason why I'm asking that, because that just sounds strange to me. Like, how do you know that the fire is coming? Because to
right,
me, for something like this, I would think there would be a lot more casualties, but it seemed like,
it was
they
on
were able to
five.
evacuate the vast majority of the people. There's only how many casualties are reported so far?
5.
Right. Out of all of this, only 5 casualties being reported, and a lot more injuries and stuff. But I would think there would be a lot more casualties with a widespread, rapidly, spreading, fires like this. How do they warn people to get out of Dodge beforehand? That's
Right,
I don't know how that works.
right. Exactly, and people were told to evacuate, but that's after it's already a mess. You know what I'm saying? The blaze is blazing at this point, so they're telling people, get out, grab what you can, and get out. Now then you have the streets and all that shit gridlocked. Like, how do you get out?
Right. 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 Okay. And so the other part, as far as the criticism that Gavin Newsom is getting, is they're saying that he was supposed to get some water from Canada or something that Trump was trying to do before to get them some access to some water coming from Canada, that where those hydrants would have been good to go.
Something he
But
shut off the reservoir. It was the LA County Reservoir. He did something with the LA County Reservoir where we get majority of our water from those hydrants, and it was some shit with Canada and Trump and all that stuff. So he thought that he, I guess, was being defiant with Trump, and look where we are today.
because he was trying to save some fish, some type of fish, rare fish out there that they were trying to save,
preserve.
And had they not done that, they would have been able to contain these fires.
Right.
As what's being reported. All right. So that's why people are saying he need to get up out of here. Karen Bass need to get up out of here. But you was about to talk about the Mammies, the League of Mammies.
Oh yeah, we have a League of Mammies. We have Yvette Nicole Brown and Kim Whitley. Someone pulled up on them, TMZ actually, and their thoughts on people collecting signatures to remove Karen Bass. And so far 86,000 signatures have been collected, by the way. But they're basically saying that, we need to give her some grace. She's not the mayor for everybody. Like,
Can you
it's like
drop
she's
that
LA
link?
County mayor.
Can you drop that link in here real quick?
It's on Twitter, so I'm gonna send it to your Twitter DM, okay?
All right, that's fine. I just want to show y'all.
And all this whole she's black stuff, like I don't want to hear that. We not, because let's be clear, when she was campaigning for mayor, you didn't see no black nowhere. She wasn't even going to black neighborhoods. If we're gonna keep it a buck, she was not going to black neighborhoods either. If you look at her family pictures on her own social media, you don't see black nowhere, so we ain't bringing up black either. With her little nappy head, funny looking self.
All right, I'm gonna play some of this video. I ain't gonna play the whole thing, but this is what Nicety is talking about. They was asking them how they felt about the criticism that Karen Bass was getting, and this is what they were saying.
We're tired for her. We're mad for her, and we're going to stand. Listen.
Fair use, by the way, TMZ. This is from TMZ. Fair use. We just doing commentary here.
I don't know how you here, but I'm happy you're here. Because somebody needs to
stand, behind her and support her. Because how she handling it, you can see it in her face. She stays calm. But think about this. She has the city to take care of. She does not have time to hear from these reporters.
She is also not mayor of every municipality in California.
Yes.
There are people that are mad that she didn't fix the fires in Malibu. She's not the mayor of Malibu.
You're right.
All right, but the thing is, and they're trying to defend her or whatever because they like, this another black woman, and they're only criticizing her because she's a black woman. We get these fires all the time. Nobody ever criticized the mayor. They're only doing that because this is a black woman. But the thing is, she cut the fire department's budget.
Period. Right.
She the one that's what people are criticizing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Of course, you're going to have the right wingers. They probably saying, she's a DEI mayor or whatever. They probably saying the white supremacists is going to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? But she's not only being criticized by the white supremacists. Black people are saying, what the hell is going on?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I understand y'all want to stick up for your sister and all that. Y'all probably was campaigning for her and, getting the vote out for her and everything like that. But look, she did cut the budget. That was on her watch.
And I'll read that. LA Mayor Karen Bass cut the fire department funding by $17.6 million to focus on homeless spending months before wildfires turned city into hellspace. So months before this, she cut the fire department's budget by $17.6 million to combat homelessness. Now, y'all remember, they were already given, I want to say, when she took office, they were given 20 million, if I'm not mistaken, to combat homelessness. right? $20 million specifically for homelessness. She ain't built nothing. Everybody out here in LA has been complaining about what is going on with the $20 million that is supposed to be for the homeless population. This is what they came up with. They forgot or they lost count or track of where the money went.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's because I was gonna say, all right, I've never been a mayor of a city. I don't know what it's like to try to balance these budgets and all of that stuff, but I'm sure you could find this money somewhere besides cutting the fire department. Like the fire department is essential.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there's some unnecessary spending taking place in other areas that could be cut before you cut the fire department budget, especially in a place like Los Angeles that experiences these wildfires all the time, where you got to have inmates go out and fight fires and shit, making 6 cents an hour and all of that.
Listen, my nephew used to be one of those, when he was in, the system up there in Washington. He was in the Spokane area, and they had him, doing that. What irks me even about that, and Chris Brown made a good point, I'm not sure if you guys seen that, but he's saying, they should be paid more basically for doing it. But the crappy part about this is they get trained to fight these fires. They actually are out there in the field working tirelessly, just like everyone else. But when they get out the system, they cannot go apply for one of those jobs because they have a felony.
That's the insidious part. That's the insidious part right there. Yeah, they should make more, you know what I'm saying? Even while they are incarcerated, there should be, they should be insured, all type of stuff. Their family and everything should be able to, if anything happens to them out there, their family should be taken care of. They should be treated with the same respect that we treat firefighters with. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because firefighters, you thank them for their service. They get parades and medals and all type of stuff. You go out their way to make sure they feel appreciated, in addition to, making sure that they make a decent wage to be able to take care of their family. But absolutely, when these guys get finished serving their time, they should be able to go directly and plug right into the fire department based on their experience.
I agree.
You have experience working in this field.
They're trained.
You know what I'm saying? So second chance should be automatically like, all right, this should be a program that plugs them directly into that.
Right.
Like if you do this while you incarcerated, and that goes for really all of the industries that people work in while they're incarcerated. You know what I'm saying? If you were doing this while you're incarcerated, why you can't do it when you get out?
And Chris Brown says that he feels like they should get time knocked off as well, is what he was saying. In their sentence. And let's be clear too, most of these people that are in there helping with these fires either went to jail for hustling. You know what I'm saying? Most people are in prison because of economic situations, to be honest, at least our people. Not to say that there's not people out there to kill folks and stuff like that. But
yeah, because you got to have certain security clearance to even be out there. You know what I'm saying? Right. If you're doing, these ain't killers and lifers that's out there fighting fires. These are people that got short time anyway.
Right. And remember, Kamala she tried to keep them in prison to fight fires when she was still the attorney general, the attorney general out here in California. Never forget. She because of that cheap labor.
Right. Never forget. And so, yeah, let me show y'all. Some of the images. Go ahead.
Yeah, before you do that, I just want you guys to know how much the inmates make per day. The rate that they make per day out here, according to Forbes, fighting these fires, is $5.80 to $10.24 per day. Per day.
Yeah, because it's like 16 cents an hour or something max. Yeah. That's like top pay. You make it 16 cents, you balling.
Right. Yeah, 16 to 74 cents per hour. The max rate is $5.80 to $10.24 a day. $10 a day, y'all. Working probably 12, 15 hours a day fighting these fires. And all you walking back into a prison cell with $10.24.
Yeah, get you some stamps and some crackhead soups.
Right.
And some rollies.
And then get out and not apply for these jobs, so that you cannot go to prison again because you have a career where you can provide for your family, have benefits and things like that.
Right. And so, that's how the system is designed. It's not a correctional facility. You know, the recidivism is intentional. You know what I'm saying? It's designed that way. They need you to recommit and keep the system going. You know, that's what it is. Right. The 13th Amendment at work. There you go.
Yep. Yep.
Exactly. But let me show y'all. So I know some of y'all didn't know that there was some fires in New York as well.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't.
And so this apartment building in the Bronx, let me show y'all this.
What's that?
I forgot how many people were affected, but a bunch of people lost everything.
Let me see.
I think there was a casualty or two. You can look that up real quick. I forgot exactly what it was. I don't want to play that music. Hold on, let me see.
And this one started at 3:35 a.m.
Right. Yeah, this is some more of the images right here. I just don't want to play the music.
No, that was in 2022.
But people are saying also, you know, there was some neglect on behalf of the landlords of these buildings, which is notorious in the Bronx. You know, that goes all the way back to the 60s and the 70s. You know, that's part of how, you know, hip hop was born in the first place. You know, those Bronx fires had a lot to do with, you know, the birth of hip hop and all of that too. You know what I'm saying? These landlords were doing this insurance fraud, these insurance scams and all of that stuff was going on out there. And obviously this was still going on now.
Right.
It's still going
No
on now.
accountability.
People were complaining about these slumlords in that exact building not too long ago. I thought I had the article in here.
I'm trying to find it too. Everything that I'm pulling up is from 2022. Looks like there was a fire in 2022 in the Bronx as well.
No, this one just happened. This one just happened on the 10th on Friday. Let me pull it up real quick, y'all.
And y'all realize we're only 12 days into the new year.
Right.
By the way,
it ain't even been 2 weeks yet.
We 12 days into the new year.
Bronx fire, 8 hurt. Yep, 8 hurt in Allerton apartment blaze as high winds fuel flames in NYC. Where some residents displaced by the Bronx fire return to the scene. Okay, right here. Negligent landlord strike again in the Bronx apartment fire displaced over 200 people. The 5-alarm fire in the Bronx sheds light on how landlords are extracting profit by maximizing the suffering of their tenants and how New York City is doing little to stop it. A massive 5-alarm fire broke out in the Bronx on Friday morning, displacing over 200 people out in the below freezing temperatures and injuring 7 people. At the time of publication, New York City firefighters are still battling the massive blaze that engulfed the top floor of a 6-story residential building. Over 81 displaced families are sheltering in a nearby school, and all the apartments on the top floor have been destroyed. For the short term, displaced residents will be placed in hotels, then we'll meet with caseworkers who will help move them into one of the city's shelters. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend, a childhood friend that I grew up with who lost her home in Altadena. Same thing. They did put her up in a hotel. She has to or had to meet with caseworkers and stuff like that. So, you know, out here we're, you know, coming together to do what we can do to financially support her, you know, right now until everything is figured out. She did not own her home, but it was still her home. She was renting, you know, out there in Altadena and completely engulfed and lost everything.
Right. And so let me just read this part right here to y'all, you know, about that fire in the Bronx. So this fire broke out nearly 3 years to the day of the Twin Parks fires of 2022. A fire which killed 17 tenants after ripping through a neglected building with inadequate fire safety. The landlord of Twin Parks Northwest, Rick Groper, had also failed to provide adequate heat to the tenants, and the fire originated from a faulty space heater, a solution which many residents had been resorting to in order to stay warm in the freezing cold temperatures.
That's crazy.
It get cold in New York, y'all.
Yeah, man.
I don't think y'all understand. If you ain't from, one of these northern cities, Michigan, Illinois, New York, places like that, Milwaukee, y'all know what I'm talking about. But y'all out there on the West Coast and a lot of y'all Southerners, if you ain't never been up there when it get real cold, man, that's serious. You're going to turn on the oven. You're going to be plugging in space heaters. You live in one of them buildings where the landlord don't got, sufficient heat and all that for you. You're going to do what you got to do.
It's 61 degrees today in LA, but it's, bright and sunny, at least in my area. I'm freezing right now. I started to excuse myself to go turn the heater on. And I know that's not nothing probably to y'all. That's probably cool for y'all, but 61 is I feel like it's below zero in here. I'm in here literally with a blanket, freezing.
Yeah, that cold.
So
that
I
cold
can't
gets
imagine
serious.
that shit. I can't. And speaking of, we were just talking about what these inmates should get. So Kim Kardashian just put out a statement saying that I have spent the last week watching my city burning and have seen and spoken to many firefighters who are up all night long using every ounce of their strength to save our community. And she's also saying that the inmates that are helping should be getting paid more. Basically, she's advocating for the incarcerated to be paid more because they're also risking their lives and stuff too.
Okay, shout out to Kim.
Shout out to Kim for that. I mean, nobody else is saying it. We can't. And she's breaking down also, the averages, that they receive. And she's also urging the California governor to do something about that as far as them getting more wages. If they gonna help pay them.
Right. And so another interesting tidbit about these California fires is people are talking about how one billionaire couple owns almost all of the water in California.
That was new for me too. I'm learning in real time, just like everybody else. And I've been here all my life, had no idea.
Let me play a little bit of this video. Hold on. Fair use again, by the way. Fair use again. I think this is the video where they're talking about it.
They'll receive just 5% of what they requested from the state. The Resnicks are the biggest farmers in California. As of 2007, they owned 4 San Francisco's worth of farmland. And nearly half of Americans buy at least one of their products. Their pistachios, their pomegranate juice, their mandarins, their flowers. It's all under one massive umbrella, the Wonderful Company, a privately owned company worth at least $5 billion.
That's crazy.
And so this is the thing, right? When you talk about wealth, right? A lot of times we think about the money, people's net worth, and all of that. Remember, they were saying Kanye was worth about $7 billion at one point. Kanye by himself was worth more than this company. But look what this company produces, though. They said, I forgot how many of us they said, but all of us damn near buy at least one of their products every time we go to the grocery store.
Every time.
Because it's not about, the dollar amount. They said they worth $5 billion or whatever, but the land that they own, the resources that they own, what they're actually producing. You know what I'm saying? That's where the power comes into play. That's where you're able to, influence what's going on politically around you and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because your value is based on people's needs. Shout out to Yeezy and all that, but we don't need Yeezys.
We don't. That's
you know what I'm saying?
At all.
These people, they own your water.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, y'all. It's wild. And I think when I think about, stuff like this, that's happening, and it goes back to how Marcel was always talking about we need to run for different offices, within our county, state, not just, in the political realm, but definitely these county and state offices, so that we can also understand where these resources is going, who owns and controls it, but also getting in positions where we can make sure that our people are okay. Out here, there's something called the water board bin. You know, there's seats that you can run for, positions that you can get that directly impact where water and how water moves within California. You know, and these are things that we don't know, and I'm learning this stuff in real time just like everybody else or whatever. But this is why it's so important that we start getting in these positions, these county, state, you know, and government positions again. So one, we know where the resources is going, but how we can directly impact it in a way to make sure our people are getting what we need to, because all these other groups are definitely making sure that their people are taken care of.
Yeah, we got to get up on that. We got to get up on that type of stuff. You know who the shot callers are, the movers and shakers are
Right.
when it comes to these resources.
And
You know
if
what I
I think
mean?
that if the more we're in there, you know what I'm saying, the more we can, you know, make it public about what's going on so that people on the ground can also, you know, make some noise when needed. You know what I'm saying? Because these are things that we just don't know. I did not know two billionaires owned our water supply here. That's
Right.
wild.
Right. And the way that the way that white supremacy works, the way that the white supremacists maintain control is by withholding information.
Hmm.
That's the most effective thing that they have at their disposal. Withholding information, valuable, pertinent information. You know what I'm saying? Them being the only ones privy to certain things is how they're able to maintain control.
Right.
Shout out to Virgo Venom for the $5 super chat. Appreciate that, beloved. And just a reminder, there is a super chat challenge in the chat on the Sincere of the God channel. So we need at least 5 of y'all to go on ahead and get y'all a super chat sticker. And we'll bring the participants on to give their thoughts about today's broadcast.
And it was
So
also needs to be known as how they privatize a lot of this stuff here where I stayed some years back. It's been about maybe 10 years ago or so, maybe a little less, but we were having a meeting with our HOA. They brought up the meeting because our utility company is Southern California Edison. I don't know if any of you guys know about that, but there was a private company that was coming in to try and buy, you know, part of or cut it off, you know, with certain areas. So we would no longer be with Edison, but we will be with some privatized electric company. And we voted against it in our HOA because it was also going to raise our rates. And most people are used to Edison has been around for a long time, at least here in our areas or whatever. And certain parts of LA County have the Department of Water and Power, which is electricity and water. We don't have that in my area, but they were trying to privatize part of the electric company. So these are private investors basically want to own and control how we pay for our electricity so they can make money.
Con Edison's in New York too. I wonder if it's the same.
Yeah. I'm sure because when you go on the Edison website, it's Edison. It's named a little bit different, but it's in different states for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of these investors, you know, that own and control privately our water supply, our utilities, and things like
Mm-hmm.
that, so they can profit and
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad
Mm-hmm.
that we did vote against it.
And that's one of the things that Dr. Anderson been talking about for a long time too. You know what I'm saying? Us getting control over those type of resources. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Our energy, water, you know, lights, gas. You know what I'm saying? The importance of us controlling, you know, those things in our areas.
Right. And when we talk about the billionaires and stuff like that in our communities, if we're going to talk about Oprah, right? Oprah, LeBron, whoever we're talking about, what do they own like that? Because we know them to own maybe real estate, restaurants, and things like that. But are they investors in these utility companies? Like, what are they doing, you know, with their billions to invest in their community to make sure that, you know, there's wealth spreading, you know, to their children like this? When we're talking about water and utilities and things like that, like
That's what I'm
everything for them
saying.
is almost surface to me. It's not really real
They
ownership.
rich. They
They
rich.
just
They not
rich.
wealthy.
Yeah.
They rich. They not wealthy. Wealth is different. Wealth is different. Wealth is gonna trickle down through your community,
Mm-hmm.
not just your family. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But your community at large. You know what I'm saying? And again, it has to deal with the land, the resources, you know, the energy, those things. You know what I'm saying? Um, those people, you know, they're just rich. They have access. These are high paid employees for the most part.
Right. And that goes to, that makes, when you said that, land and stuff like that. And well, I don't know if you were on one of Tariq's lives a couple of days ago, and it was this guy, he's, FBA. I think he was living in Georgia, but he says that he does have dual citizenship in Ghana. He's married to a Ghanaian,
I
right?
think I heard that. Yeah.
And then when you go out there and buy land out there, or at least you think that you're buying a property, I ain't gonna say land, but if you buy a property out there, there's this thing in there where they still own the land for 100 years. So you only own what's on top of the land, but anything underneath the minerals and etc., you don't get to own the minerals or anything like that for until after 100 years has passed. Well, damn it, am I gonna live 100 years? Like, what kind of, like, does that make sense to go out there and invest and you don't even own the land that you're buying? You're only buying what you paid, the cheap ass materials that you paid to build a house on top of.
I don't know. I guess
That was
I
weird to
guess it
me.
just
I just thought that
depends.
it was weird, because again, we're talking about ownership and land ownership and, ownership and, real resources, tangible resources. You know what I'm saying? And to go, I could build a house on top of anything if that's the case.
Yeah, but it's not much different here. You know what I'm saying? When you really think about it, you know what I'm saying?
But you
You
own your land. You
you
do
could
own your land.
do you? If you live in one of these subdivisions, you might buy the plot and have your house built on top of that plot of land, but you still got to do what the HOA tell you to do.
That is true, because I do have a friend that lives in there, but I'm talking about the people that don't live in the, and that's more of the new, they're doing that a lot with the new constructions out here, and they're making a lot of subdivisions. But I'm talking about your grandmama and them house. You know what I'm saying? They still own the land underneath.
To a certain degree, if you fall behind on your taxes, they coming to get that.
Yeah, but you gotta
Even
pay
though it's only
taxes.
even though it's paid off, if you can't maintain the taxes for whatever reason, they're going to get that up out you. So do you really own it?
True.
You know what I'm saying? They play games like that all over the place. That's, you know what I'm saying? But that's why I said it depends. It depends on, you know what I'm saying, the industry that you're working in, what you're trying to get accomplished and all of that. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm talking
And
about
just understand the rules of the game. That's the thing. Go into it
going
with the
to
understanding.
going to a foreign country to get some citizenship and build, and I don't get to own the land. What am I going for? What am I building?
Now, hey,
Unless
it might
unless
be
I'm going out
beneficial to
there and
certain
build a
people.
business, I don't see the purpose of building a house. I'd rather go out there and stay in a hotel, a resort or something. But if I'm building a business or something out there, then I can see that. But just to, paying I guess a tax for 100 years, before I can own actual land is weird to me.
I don't think that's what it was. I think it was you only own it for 100 years.
No, no, no. You don't own the land till after 100 years, he was
Oh,
saying.
that's what it was. Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
They have
something
some
like that.
type of legal thing on there where, and then also he has to put all the property in his wife's name.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
It was just weird to me. I just thought about that when you brought up wealth and land and stuff like that. I just took me back to that.
I don't know, but you know what I'm
Yeah, it's a
saying?
hundred
If
year
you
lease. It's a 100-year lease. That's what yeah.
I just ain't I ain't really trying to knock it if people, you know what I'm saying, see some benefits to going out there to do some business. What's up, son? You know what I'm saying? Just
Dr.
know what you're
Umar
getting
ain't talking
yourself
about doing
into
no
is what I'm
business.
saying.
Dr. Umar ain't talking about doing no business, and neither is Yandy and Mendices and all these people out here
Hold
posing
on.
and cheesing with their
Hold on,
little
son.
dual citizenship little certificate. They ain't talking about building nothing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing out there. I'm just talking about people that's trying to build. You know what I'm saying? If you find something beneficial out there for you, go on and get to it. Just know what you're getting yourself into. Understand the rules. Don't get scammed. You know what I'm saying?
And also stay out there for a few years. Don't come back to America. Go out there and build and let us see what you built. And maybe we'll want to do it too. Stay though. Do not come back to America for 5 years.
Why, Dicey? Why you saying that?
Because I just get tired of people with this come home and all this stuff, but then you hop your ass right back on the plane once y'all got y'all little certificate and you right back here, like stay. Do not come back for at least 5 years and show us what you to build. You know, have a 5-year plan out there though.
I don't know. Do what works for you is what I say.
I just want to
do what
see
works
something.
for you. Just don't get scammed. You know what I'm saying? Understand what you're getting into. You know what I mean? And hopefully things work out. That's what I want to see. I want to see things work out for people. You know what I'm saying? What's
Look
up,
at
son? What you
Jesse
want to
Paris.
say? Seven trying to
Paris
sell us
said
something.
he has a friend that bought bought 2 apartments in Kenya. He out there for 4 years. He's back in the Denver, Colorado.
Said they was hella off code and let the
Off
Caucasoids
code.
do anything they want. Yeah. We hear horror stories all the time.
Yeah, so I might as well stay here.
Hear horror stories all the time.
I'm staying my ass right on.
What you trying to say?
With
Seven trying to
my
tell y'all
family
something,
built.
y'all. Seven trying to tell y'all
Seven.
something.
So, for Christmas, I got this book called Inspiring Stories for Amazing Black Boys, and it's actually a really good book. It shows about all sorts of Black heroes: Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Jackie Robinson, all the Black people you could think of, even George Washington Carver.
So you came on here to promote somebody else's book.
Well, you got to promote your book too, though.
All right, well, promote your book now. Shoot, you're gonna give somebody else's book a shout out. Who wrote that book, by the way? Who's the author? Oh, it's probably different authors, different stories. I don't know, but y'all go get our book. Shoot.
Right.
Y'all go to godcastbooks.com, get seven the Super Hey Rule, 7's Big Move. That's our book.
That's our book.
7 over here promoting other people's books. So we, they ain't pay for no advertisement.
Right.
I'm just playing. That's my guy. But one thing I did want to talk to y'all about, though, speaking of, us having knowledge and information, and what I mean, us particularly as foundational Black Americans, understanding who we are. Something I experienced the other day that was kind of sad, but it was a reminder too a little bit. You remember, I think last week or the week before, we were talking about on here, I think when we were talking about Mav Hoffa, we were talking about whether people actually know or not. Well, I was giving certain people the benefit of the doubt, saying, some people just don't know the information that we have. All right. And this was a reminder to me of why that's really true. My man's daughter that I work with in the barbershop, he got a 10-year-old daughter, and they got a cultural heritage night coming up at her school. You know what I'm saying? So he comes in, and I guess they was talking about it in the car, because when he came in, he's like, I'm trying to tell her, she got to represent for our culture at the cultural night, because she think we don't have no culture. She's an FBA little girl, y'all. Beautiful, smart little girl. Foundational Black American. And she's saying everybody has a culture except for us. Where she learned this from? She just learned it from being in the society. You know what I'm saying? This is how social engineering and the programming works. And it's very effective. It's not just kids that are walking around thinking this. You got grown people who've been thinking this their whole life. They grown tail men and women now who grew up with nobody reinforcing who we are. Right. You know what I'm saying? This delineation movement is, unprecedented, really. This is not anything that we've ever been on in the history of our culture here. We've never, looked at our own uniqueness, our own cultural significance as something separate and apart from other people throughout the diaspora.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so if nobody's giving you that direct teaching, how are you supposed to know? Because I'm asking her, why you think that? Well, we don't have, no holidays or ceremonies or, anything like that. And, everybody got their flags and stuff like that shows where they come from. We don't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I started giving her the game. You know what I'm saying? I started teaching her about it. And the thing is, her dad, and he's an FBA brother from Chicago, his family out of Mississippi. And, he's not somebody who's in these spaces, you know what I'm saying? He's not following new Black media or nothing like that. But everything that he was telling her was still right and exact. You know what I'm saying? So people do understand you know, that you know, we have something unique apart from just being African or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just innately, you know, a lot of us do know that. Because when he was explaining to her, he was definitely explaining it to her in a good way, but just without the details that maybe you and I would be able to get.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's one thing that we got to understand. Those of us that got children, grandchildren, you know, little ones that we're responsible for, we have to be reinforcing this information with them. It can't just be something that we do in passing and expect them to know it and understand it and get it. It has to be always constantly reiterated and reinforced. You have to have paraphernalia, like, you know, say I got the flag behind me and all of that. You got to get books and different stuff that you could just have around the house, you know, reminders and stuff. Let them know who they are.
And conversations, you know, it's the conversations, talking to your kids, and definitely not relying on the school system to teach them, because we know they're not going to do that. You know, I never depended on the school system to teach my child real, you know, Black history.
And so 7 got one coming up now too. And when I was reading the paper for it, you know, they automatically say, because remember, we're the only non-immigrants here.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they tell you, you know, give you some pointers about, you know, what you could do for cultural night or whatever, it automatically goes into immigrant talk.
Right.
They automatically say the country that your family comes from, or, you know what I'm saying? They talk about all of these foreign things immediately, assuming that everybody is a foreigner. Everybody has a foreign background. It does not indicate anybody who is native here. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what?
So
they make everyone
I let Seth
immigrants
know, you know,
accept
we're going to show
themselves.
out.
The white
you know, we about to
supremacists
show out on Cultural Heritage Night. You
But
know what
you
I'm
notice
saying?
the white supremacists
You
makes
muted.
everyone accept themselves
You
immigrants. Am I?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
No, I don't hear you.
That's crazy, because I'm not muted.
You sound very, very, very low, like very low.
Can you hear me?
I don't know what's going on with Nicety's mic.
I'm gonna go out and come back in.
You can hear her? Oh, so maybe it's me. What's going on my end then? Say something.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay. I said, do you notice how the white supremacists will make everyone immigrants but themselves?
Right.
Like y'all not from here either.
Right.
You immigrated here too. What are you talking about? You guys are immigrants.
Right. But no, but even with them, they know that too, because you know what I'm saying? People they know that people from Ireland, Italy, all these other places too. And that's what they're going to bring on cultural night. You know what I'm saying? Their Irish background, they English background, wherever their family comes from, that's what they're going to be bringing. But we're actually the only ones that can show up as Americans.
Always. Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But you never see that though. If y'all got kids, if y'all ever been to any of these cultural nights and stuff like that they have at these schools, you never see that. You never see that, because one of the options that they have on there is you could talk about a country that you want to go to.
Right.
And so most of the foundational Black American kids, that's what they're going to do. That's the option they're going to choose. They're going to pick a country that they want to go to
visit.
Right. Because they don't understand this is our land here. This is our country here. We are the American culture.
I wish are you going to record? Are you going to be at 7's cultural night?
Oh yeah, we're going to show out.
I know. Please record it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna show out. They about to learn about eructicity and all that. They about to learn about Tut language and all that.
All that.
At cultural night. Oh, they about to learn.
Okay. Oh,
they about to learn about jazz and bebop and hip hop and you know all of the things that we created. It's like our culture. This is the thing about our culture. Our culture is mass consumed by everyone, and so it doesn't seem like it belongs to us because everyone consumes it. Most other people's culture, nobody outside of their culture really cares about it. You know what I'm saying? And so you can identify it by that group. You know what I'm saying? You know who celebrates Rosh Hashanah and Hanukkah and all of those things because nobody else participates in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, about, you know, whatever, chopsticks or whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? Whose culture that is, that's a part of, and all of that. Because really, you only do that when you go to their restaurants, or, you know what I'm saying, you visit their country or whatever the case may be. So it's associated with them. But our culture is consumed not just by people all over the country, but all over the world. And we never point out that it's something that, you know, we made significant.
Right.
And so you can look at something as minute as blue jeans. Do you know the only reason people wear blue jeans is because of foundational Black Americans?
Because we swag that shit out.
Blue jeans were made for workers,
farmers,
mechanics, and stuff like that. People never wore blue jeans as fashion until we started doing it. Actually became significant during the civil rights movement, when they were doing marches to represent for the working class and stuff like that. People would wear blue jeans to these marches and to these demonstrations as a symbol to represent the working class people. You know what I'm saying? And then it became fashionable. You know what I'm saying? But now everybody wears blue jeans all over the world. So people don't think of blue jeans. They don't associate that with Black American culture. But that's where it comes from. You know what I'm saying? Sports attire, baseball hats. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the words that are just in the English lexicon that people use every single day comes from us. You know what I'm saying? So many things that, you know, we just have to make sure that we teach our babies about these things so that they do have something to be proud of, because that was the thing about it. She felt like she had nothing to be proud of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? She's like, everybody else got a culture except us. And I'm like, ooh, like that stung to hear her say that. You know what I'm saying?
How did she receive what you told her? How did she receive that when you were telling her, you know, little things?
Her pops thought she was being resistant because she was questioning everything. You know, no matter what we told her, she had a question for it. Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And her pops was like, see, you're not even trying to hear what people are telling you. You know what I'm saying? She got her arms crossed and all that. He's like, you're not even trying to hear it and be receptive to what we're trying to tell you. You just already got your mind made up. But to me, I didn't look at it like that. I felt like she was asking the right questions.
She was,
because
she wanted understanding.
Right. That's how you get to the information.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why is asked by the wise?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to know. That's the scientific method. You got to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? You don't take nothing on the surface level. And like I said, she's a very smart little girl. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't mind her giving pushback and asking questions and stuff like that, because first of all, I got the answers.
Right.
Number one, I got the answers, way. You know what I'm saying? And second of all, that just told me that really there was a curiosity there. There was a desire. Right. There was a desire to know, you know what I'm saying, to fill that void. Because there was a void, you know what I'm saying, from her just looking around like, damn, everybody got a coach except me. I'm just from Chicago. She's 10.
Oh yeah, it's time. It's definitely time. And I'm like you, I don't think it was pushback. And I think that someone giving me some new information, even as I want my kid to question it. I don't want my kid just to take what someone says as face value. Well, why? Ask the why so that my child can also go back home and research it for themselves. So I'm proud of her just for asking the questions.
Yeah, exactly. It was good. It was good. And really, man, she captured the attention of the whole barbershop. Everybody in the barbershop was listening to that conversation. It was really started just between me, her, and her dad. But everybody in the barbershop stopped what they was doing to pay attention to that conversation. And there was one Haitian gentleman that was in the chair getting his hair cut. And he said something. He said, I understand what she's saying. I understand where she's coming from. And I was trying to get him to elaborate, but her pops, you know, he kept cutting in. He didn't really let him speak. But I was like, nah, what you mean? I don't understand what she's saying. You explain. What's she trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if he was on he understand what she's saying about us not having no culture. Yeah, I don't got no culture. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see if he was going to go there with it. But my man kept cutting him off, so he didn't really get a chance to elaborate on it. But my antennas went up. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what she mean? Explain.
What you mean? What you talking about? Why are you in a conversation? I'm sorry. Just
Nah.
listen. Sometimes you just have to listen too. Eric, it's not, for everyone to give their opinion a lot of times. Just listen. Take it in.
Nah, I wanted the opinion.
I know you did. You wanted that smoke.
I wanted the opinion because that would have been a teachable moment as well. You know what I'm saying?
You were already teaching.
It could go deeper. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't get it. And that was the point of me bringing this up, though. That's the reason why I do give people grace, you know what I'm saying, in some of these conversations, because there are a lot of people out there who really don't get it. Some people are arguing in bad faith and they know that they're full of shit, and that's out there, and we got to deal with that. But there are those who just don't know, you know what I'm saying? And so the onus is on us really to raise the vibration and, educate the people, you know what I'm saying? Because in every group, you know what I'm saying? I come from the nation of gods and earths, you know what I'm saying? It's the reason why, we talk about the 5%, the 10%, and the 85%. Because in every single group, there's a 5%, a 10%, and the 85%. The 85, how we define the 85ers? The 85ers are easily led in the wrong direction and hard to lead in the right direction. So that's significant because we say, nah, this person should know better. I know you don't heard a broadcast or two. I know you don't clicked on something and you know about this FBA conversation, but everybody doesn't have the mindset to receive the information in the first place, even if they did hear it, because 85% of the population is easily led in the wrong direction and hard to lead in the right direction. And then you got 10%, which is the bad faith arguers, those who know, but they use the information, they weaponize the information in order to deceive people, and you know what I'm saying, to so that they could get something out of it. You know what I mean? They want to weaponize it against the 85%, put it that way. You know what I'm saying? They know what they're saying is bullshit, but they know that most people don't get it, and so that they can manipulate that 85% so that they can benefit from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so that's 10% of the people that we got to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
Can I ask a question before you get into that? So would you put Dr. Umar in that 10%?
Dr. Umar?
And the reason why I want to say why I will.
Go ahead.
Just based off, and only for this specific reason, is he's on some BS right now on, FBA should not get reparations because all we gonna do is spend our money on shoes and jewelry.
Right.
And as educated as Dr. Umar is, on everything that foundational Black Americans have built, you know what I'm saying, after it being destroyed, over and over and over, he's aware of this. So I believe that he's aware that, the majority of us will use the money the right way, but he's using the talking points to me of white supremacists and tethers. That's my opinion for himself, because that way more people can continue to donate to him.
Okay, that's one way to look at it, and I'll speak on that in a second. But I want to address this comment from Jesse Paris. He said 5% is FBA, 10% is Caribbean, 85% is African, is what a Dominican 5%er told me. Interesting. So, like I was saying, in every group you have a 5%, a 10%, and an 85%. So whether you're talking about an organization like the Nation of Gods and Earths, or Nation of Islam, or the Moors, or whatever, you can break it all the way down to a small organization like that. Even within those groups, there's going to be a 5% who are really sincere, who are really genuine, you know what I'm saying, who really have understanding and a desire for empowerment and righteousness. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have 10% who are going to be insincere, who are going to be manipulative, who are going to be deceptive, you know what I'm saying? And you have 85% who really are not clear, you know what I'm saying? They might be there for the wrong reasons. They might just be followers, you know what I'm saying? But again, easily led in the wrong direction, hard to lead in the right direction. And so within the FBAs, you have a 5%, a 10%, and an 85%. Right. And
Jamar talked about that too the other day, Lord Jamar, because he was saying how now there's Hispanics and stuff like in other groups that's in the 5% nation. He was like, that's cool. He said, but let's be very, very clear. The 5% nation was started by foundational Black Americans, and the Black man is still God. You know what I'm saying? So he still, said basically what you're saying. He said more, you know what I'm saying? But he just let it be known, because a lot of times he's saying that in New York, a lot of the, 5%ers now are trying to, the Hispanic ones are trying to act like they started the 5% nation now.
No, I know they ain't trying to act like that. That's
You gotta watch
impossible.
his broadcast. He broke it down similar to what you're doing right now, to be honest. But he was like, let's be clear. You know how Lord Jamar is. He doesn't yell or anything, which I love. He's a teacher too. You're a teacher too. And I don't know if you guys got that just, born that way, or if that's something you guys learned within the nation. But you know what I'm saying? I love the way you both, teach, when you explain the stuff, because you get it. You don't have a lot of questions because you make it clear.
Shout out to Lord Jamar, man. Lord Jamar doing his thing out here, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Me and Lord Jamar, we both come from the same type of background. We both study the same type of lessons. Do that mean we agree on everything? No.
It's not. Who does? I
You
think
know what I'm saying? That don't
do.
mean there's stuff that I hear Lord Jamar say that I'll be like,
Right.
But the things that are important, for the most part, we do agree on. You know what I'm saying? We do see eye to eye on the things that are important. But do I think the earth is flat? No, I don't think the earth is flat. But you know what I'm saying? That's a journey that this brother is on right now. You know what I'm saying? That's a field of study that he's getting into. I haven't even, really went down that rabbit hole like that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna try to debate Lord Jamal on whether the earth is flat. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of 5%ers that is upset with him for this because it doesn't coincide with our lessons. You know what I'm saying? So they're saying you contradicting the lessons. And so now he's having to defend himself as a 5%er. So just because we both come from that don't mean I'm gonna challenge him on, this new information that he's seeking. That's his journey. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, shout out to our brother Dwan B. Our brother Dwan B is a music historian, a music connoisseur. I'm a musician and a lover of music, you know what I'm saying? But I don't agree with everything Dwan B says about music or his opinions about music. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with him with everything, but I'm not about to challenge Dwan B.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's his area. That's his lane. Even when I disagree with him, I still listen to why he's saying what he's saying. And for the most part, it's something that you can't argue with because he's giving it to you from a musical, scientific aspect. It's not even an opinion anymore. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He breaking down something to you scientific behind what goes into the making of the music as to why his opinion is what it is. So just because he's saying it's trash and I like it, don't mean I have an argument.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't really get into, them insignificant arguments. We agree on the things that are important.
Absolutely.
He's down with the FBA reality minus that flat earth nonsense. Hey, that's what I say. He's on that though. And he willing to stand on business with it. He said he wanna debate Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Listen, if he studied it significantly, that's his reality. I haven't studied it. I'm to the understanding that the earth is round because we have that round globe and all this stuff. That's the teachings that we have. I have not studied anything like that in depth. I have no desire to be honest.
Yep, me too. Me too, Rhythm and Black, Dr. Blair, Dr. Valentine, Dr. Welsing, Bobby Hebbett, Azra Kwesi, Steve Coakley. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Son from Brooklyn said, I remember Juwanza Kunjufu positing something similar where many Black American children felt that they had no culture, hence the arguing for an Afrocentric curriculum in the 1980s. That was a lot of the justification for a lot of Afrocentricism and Pan-Africanism, African studies in the colleges and stuff like that. Even what we were doing on the streets and in hip hop with the Back to Africa movements and the Black medallions and all of that. You know what I'm saying? That is what that was about. But what we realized is that we were skipping over
Our
a
own
whole 500 years of significant history that
right,
is unique to us.
right.
And so we can still talk about the African history and all of that. We can go back into ancient times and all of that. And that is a significant history that applies to Black people globally. Right. But what applies to us as a unique group is what we did here,
Yeah.
which is extremely significant. The things that we were able to accomplish here under the direct thumb of these white supremacists, what we were still able to accomplish, that's not something that we should just, not hold on to. That's something that should be upheld and exalted. And so that's the only thing that's new about what we're doing as far as, recognizing our cultural uniqueness here. You know what I mean? That's just the way that I see it. That's just the way that I see it. And I know some people, they just want to dismiss the African aspect altogether. I'm not one of those people. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on, what part of history we talking about.
Right.
What part of history? Because, when we talk about the greatness of Kemet and all of that, that's that part of that greatness went into the production of our ethnogenesis as well. You know what I'm saying? We just got to go back a little further to talk about that. That's all.
That's it.
Well, a lot further. Got to go way, way back to get into that. But that's in the DNA as well. You know what I mean? My son name is Heru. 7 Heru. You know what I mean? So I still recognize all of it, holistically.
I think that
but we can compartmentalize.
I think the majority of us do feel the way that you do. I just think that it's, a small group of people, that's speaking reckless, you know what I'm saying? And that gets overshadowed by the people, such as yourself and even Tariq Nasheed, who, does not, diss, Africa. You know what I'm saying? This is something that he took use his money and also donations to, make whole movies about. You know what I'm saying? So he still supports it. We all still support it, but you have a few knuckleheads that's out there saying a bunch of reckless stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it seems like, oh, well, you don't, you know what I'm saying? You are dissing Africa, or, you know what I'm saying? You're denying that part, of your DNA. And that's not the case at all.
And I want to say thank you, Trev Nutmeg, because I wasn't sure, if I was making myself clear. I wasn't sure if I was really saying what I was trying to say. So I appreciate that, because the conversation is very nuanced and there's different, compartments to the conversation. So it's hard to just simplify it, and just put everything in simple terms so that people could get it. But hopefully, I'm as clear as I could possibly be in what I'm trying to say.
I was clear. It'd be taking me a while for it to register, but it registered when you're explaining stuff like you explained that, like it makes total sense. I get it. You know what I'm saying? And also, when people say, they don't want to, use Africa as a part of our history, we're not excluding Africa to a degree, but we're just focusing on our unique culture, experience, history, etc. here in America. It is a difference. You know what I'm saying? There was an ethnogenesis. And I think that when people hear us just focusing on foundational Black Americans, for some reason they feel away. It's not what we're doing, it's just how they're receiving that or interpreting that information.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing, man. There's parts of our history that is shared by us globally, and there's parts of it that is unique to us.
That's it.
Just like there's parts of it that's unique to them that we don't share.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is.
Listen, I get told I should take off my dashiki in my profile picture on X or whatever, because I'm not African. If I have a photo up because I have braids, I'm taken from their culture. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I guess it goes
grasping for
both ways.
straws right there.
Yeah.
They grasping for straws with that.
Yes.
And that was one of the things. That was one of the things that the little girl had said too. You know what I'm saying? Because I was telling her, I'm like you as a Black American girl, I'm like, you the most copied woman on this planet. You know what I'm saying? Right. The way you wear your hair, everything. Everybody tries to be like you. And she's like, well, when I go get my hair done, I go to the Africans. That, you know what I'm saying? So she was giving good pushback. I was like, okay, that's a good point. I'm like, but do the Africans themselves wear their hair like that for the most part? No.
Go. That wig glue down here.
Right. The ones that were born here and grew up around us, yeah. But the ones that came straight from over there, straight from the motherland and all that, their hair don't be looking like y'all hair. You can see the difference. You know what I'm saying? But they good at braiding the hair though. You know what I'm saying? Because what I explained to her is all of these cultures, not just Africans, but all of these immigrant groups that come over here, they study different aspects of Black American culture to find a lane that they can get into to basically drain the resources out of our communities. It's a predatory thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's a reason why, you know, the Asians have control over the beauty industry like that. You know what I'm saying? All the beauty supply stores and the nail shops and all of that stuff in our neighborhoods, for the most part, are owned and controlled by them. That's not, you know, done by accident. That's systematic. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with the Africans in the braid shops and all of that. Again, most of them, they don't wear their hair like that, but they study us. They study us. So it's like, okay, what could we bring to the table that we know that they like? You know what I'm saying? So they understand our uniqueness more than we do.
Right. And like you said before, so many people share our culture, you know, because we give it away so freely. You know, we share it with everyone because, you know, I guess we have an abundance of culture, you know, to share. And so people think that everyone else created things outside of us. It's interpreted that way.
And also they're assisted by the white supremacists to create these systems in order to exploit us the way that they do. You know, they're not sabotaged at the very least, but for the most part, they get assistance. They come over here and they get lifted up to be that buffer class. And so it looks a certain way, especially if you're a child and you're looking around and like, oh, well, where's our stuff at?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, again, very important what we're doing here. What we're doing here, extremely important. So I just want to make sure that everybody is, you know, not just online with it. Make sure you offline with it, especially when it comes to the children that are in your life. Make sure they understand these conversations that we're having.
Absolutely. Yeah. Before, I know we're going to be winding down and stuff, but I wanted to touch on something. This situation that happened in Flint, Michigan. It has been posted by FBA Goddess over here on X. It's in reference to a 17-year-old. His name is Rayvon Shaheed. Rayvon Shaheed was shot in the head once and 6 times in the back by Flint police officers. There's a call to action right now. They want everyone to call, email, and tag AG Dana Nessel to demand she indicts the officers involved in murdering him.
That sounds like a black woman.
Yeah. The phone number to call is 313-456-0700. Again, that's 313-456-0700. And you can email them at miag@michigan.gov. That's miag@michigan.gov. So police say that 17-year-old Nasheed was walking on Sussex Street in Flint North Side when the troopers encountered him while they were on parole. Shaheed allegedly ran away when the troopers attempted to make contact with him. Troopers deployed a taser to stop Shaheed, which wasn't successful, while repeatedly telling him to drop his gun. The troopers fired gunshots at Shaheed when he would not comply. Michigan State Police say they found a loaded Glock handgun with an extended ammunition magazine at the scene. Friends and family have said that Shaheed was not armed when police shot him.
Here we go again.
And again, this is in Flint, Michigan, where water is still an issue as well. Beautiful young man. And my thing is, y'all were just patrolling. You attempted to make contact with him for what? Because he was walking while black? You know what I'm saying? Like he runs and then he's running and then you see the Glock in his hand. You didn't see the Glock before that because he's just casually walking. You know, I don't know. It just doesn't make sense just based off that. But, you know, rest in power to him. And I pray that his family gets justice.
Yep. And so again, that's 313-456-0700. And the email is miag@michigan.gov.
We are demanding that the police officers involved are held responsible, and we want them to be indicted on murder charges.
And I know Clarissa Shields has a fight coming up in Flint in a couple of weeks too. I'm pretty sure she's gonna do something to raise the awareness about what's going on out there. She's pretty good with that. Shout out to Clarissa. That girl she about to fight is a big mother.
What nationality?
I think she FBA.
Ooh.
I think she FBA.
A monster.
The big bitch. I was like, oh.
You know what my mama told me? The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So
right.
You know, come on now.
Right. I'm rooting for Clarissa all day. That's my girl. You know, I hope she do her thing. But I seen the face off that they had. Now, you know, I stood face to face with Clarissa. She right there eye to eye with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm 5'11". She right there eye to eye with me, and she ain't no, you know what I'm saying? She got muscles and all that. You know what I'm saying? Clarissa, you know, she got presence about herself. And I seen them two standing next to each other. She dwarfed Clarissa. I'm like, damn, that's a big.
Really? But I thought that they had to kind of be, you know, not equally, but compatibly.
It's a heavyweight. That's the thing about the heavyweight division. It's a heavyweight fight. So once you get into the heavyweight, there could be some disparity, some large disparities because it don't go no higher than heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? So, and like for me, well, I'm 220 now, but you know what I'm saying? I should be about 205 for real. You know what I'm saying? My good weight, I should be about 205 for real. But even at 205, I would have to fight somebody in my division who's like 240. You know what I'm saying? 250. They could be way bigger than me like that. You know what I'm saying? We in the same weight class. But yeah, shout out to Clarissa Shields, man. Hopefully she do her thing. She's still undefeated in boxing. I think she lost one time in the octagon. But, you know, as far as her lane in boxing, she's still undefeated. She got like, I forgot how many different division belts she got, but damn near all of them. She has been whooping ass out here. So hopefully, you know, that streak continues.
Right.
But this it looks like it's going to be a challenge for her, though.
I'm like, wait, do we know the person that she's fighting? Do we know her record?
I don't think she had that many fights. I think she's undefeated too, but I don't think she had as many fights as her. But y'all look her up. I forgot her name, but y'all look her up. She big and she built like a dude.
Oh Lord.
She built like a dude, man. But I don't know. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. But did y'all hear that Mark Zuckerberg said they about to take away the fact checkers on Facebook and Instagram and all of that, and
how he was forced by the Biden administration, and they would call and yell at my employees. Like, stop.
Yeah, Trump got folks getting some act right. That's what's going on.
Man, that made me mad though. I was just like, what a cop out. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have to.
They play these games, man. They play these games.
Speech.
But that's what's supposed to be going on. So y'all know TikTok is out the door. Supposed to be, I think, on the 19th. They're supposed to phase out TikTok. They're gonna be taking away these fact checks and shadow banning and all the stuff that they do on Instagram and Facebook and all of that. And supposedly we're supposed to be able to say what we gotta say out here. And they're gonna do like what they do on Twitter with the community notes, which even that is like, you know, people just make whatever notes they want to make. Because I seen something yesterday. One person, it was a white chick that tweeted, she called somebody a dirty nigga or something like that with the hard ER. And then the person responded to her, says something about her being a cracker. I forgot exactly what it was. But the person that responded got the community note saying it was hate speech. but the person that made the original one, there was no community note was on there. I'm like, hey, dude.
Yeah, that sounds about white. That sounds about white.
Right.
And by the way, here's the person she's fighting. She's Perkins. Wait,
yeah, Perkins.
Perkins. She's a Amazon now.
6 feet tall Danielle Perkins, undisputed heavyweight glory, February 2nd. Her
face is strong. Her face is strong. I don't know if y'all can see it, but that face strong too.
Yeah, man. She ain't out there trying to get pretty, but she ain't got on no makeup and stuff like, you know.
Nothing. Clarissa looking all pretty and stuff.
Right. That girl coming to fight. It's gonna be a tough one, Clarissa. Better do your thing.
For standoff. I don't know if y'all can see the standoff, but yeah, that's the Amazon right there.
Yes, indeed. But we about to get up out of here, family. It's gonna be interesting, man. You know, we ain't even 2 weeks into the new year. A lot of stuff going on, a lot of changes being made. We got the inauguration coming up. We back with the Black Business Showcase.
Yep, this Thursday we'll be back with Honey Queen. Honey Queen is back. New location, new stuff going on. So we will be tapping in with our sister Key from
Shout
Honey
out to
Queen.
Key.
That is going to be this Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here. Same bat time, same bat channel, but on Thursdays now.
She fine too, y'all niggas. So make sure y'all pull up.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So yeah, that's gonna be on Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Y'all make sure y'all pull up for that. And of course, we'll be back again on Sunday for our weekly broadcast. And I'll probably go live somewhere in between there. So y'all just make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff, so you can get notifications whenever we do stuff around here.
And I'm about to get dressed and go have me some drinky drinks with the girls. It's my sister Judy's birthday. Hey, Judy Booty, happy birthday. And we about to turn up.
Y'all have fun. Be safe, man.
We will.
All right, family. Y'all hold it down. That does it for today's episode of Sincere Love the Godcast. Always remember, we are not the master teachers, but we are the master students and signal boosters for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.
Yeah, like that. Let's see what's in the God's mind. Listen.